Have you ever stumbled upon an online ad that seems a little too good to be true? How can you tell nowadays if it's a legitimate that's job offer together, or if it's a scam, especially since scammers are getting really good? Now, the good news is that you can root out 99% of scams just by recognizing the following 7 flags. Real job postings use software to help them identify good candidates, and they do this by highlighting similarities between your resume and keywords that they put in the description. So although a scammer may try to mimic real job openings the best they can by including a description, theirs is awfully extremely vague. So a good rule of thumb is a real job, the requirements, the job duties will be very specific. Relatedly, if you do land an interview with a scammer and you start asking for specifics, the scammer might be oddly dismissive and say something like, "Don't worry, we'll train you." I want you to run away as fast as you can if they're being too vague about the job. Like the saying goes, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Now, there are 3 warning signs that a listing is a little too good to be true. Number 1, you didn't contact them, they contacted you. If somebody says that they found your resume online or that somebody forwarded them your credentials, I want you to run. 2, if they offer you a job immediately after a brief interview. 3, if they offer you extremely high pay. In fact, here's an example from a student of mine. A company reached out to her and offered her a remote virtual assistant position that started at $106,000 a year. If that seems a little high, I just want to let you know that that's about $90,000 too high. A job listing or an email that's poorly written is often a dead giveaway that the listing is fake. Because real companies, as you know, use software or they hire writers that can write really well. So weird capitalization, grammar mistakes, spelling errors, oddly worded phrases, I want you to be extremely skeptical. And recruiters are unlikely to email you from a personal email account. Real recruiters will include their full company contact details, meaning you have access to their full name, their email, their phone number. So do some due diligence if you have that info. You should be able to Google their email, their phone number, their name, look them up on LinkedIn, and figure out if they're a real person or not. Legitimate jobs will never ask you to pay for supplies, training, or technology in order to secure employment. Some may even ask for your bank account information. If this is to set up a direct deposit or transfer money into your account, this is fake. Now, another student of mine actually was offered a job from a scammer that mimicked a real person from a real company. Every single detail seemed to check out until she was offered the job without any follow-ups. She didn't have any meeting with the CEO she was supposedly working with or for, and she didn't have any conversation with HR. Fortunately, she followed her gut and ended up reaching out to the company to ask about her contract. I'm very sad to say that the company informed her that they didn't have a record of her at all, and in fact, the job was not even real. So some scammers are sophisticated, and even if they've committed none of the aforementioned faux pas like spelling errors, I still need you to do your research. Do your research, for the love of God, do your research. Speaking of research, you must visit the website of a potential client or employer, and you need to review it with a critical eye, because as mentioned above, it's not uncommon nowadays to interact with a scammer masquerading as somebody from a real company. So even if the job is with a familiar company, you can look for signs of a spoofed website. Their standard branding could be off or missing. The job requirements maybe require no prereqs, no background check, no due diligence on their part. Or the website might even be similar but not quite the same. So if the website has any weird hyphens or numbers or doesn't follow something like .com, maybe it's a .net, it's a good sign it might be fake too. Lastly, look at the website itself. If it doesn't have HTTPS, that could be a sign. The S stands for secured. And if you're on an HTTP site, I'm not saying that that's a fake site. That's not always the case. But major corporations nowadays will have the HTTPS. What the S also means is that your data is safe. You're safe to browse the website. So pay attention to those little things as you're doing your research. Watch out for offers that want you to rush to a decision too quickly. Now, a lot of scammers will put pressure on you to commit to a short timeline. This is a major red flag. The reason that they set tight time limits on your application is because they want you to act quickly. This tactic pretty much prevents you from seeking to do your own due diligence. If you are a victim, I think that these crimes are underreported, and it sucks, but you're not alone. You definitely still have a responsibility to warn and protect other remote job seekers so that they also don't fall prey to the same scam. So when you do come across a fake posting, you can notify the job search site and you can report it to the Better Business Bureau, the BBB. Now, hopefully the possibility of getting scammed does not scare you away from working remotely. I will drop a link to some of the best remote sites that are totally legit. They're respected resources and you can use them and search for a job knowing that they are scam-free. Now, if you're still with me at the end, thank you. I'm Erin. Thanks for sticking out with me. I've been a freelance virtual assistant from 2012, and I do a lot of videos on this channel about freelancing and VAs. Of course, if you have any questions about freelancing, drop me a comment. I am always happy to meet you guys and answer any questions that I can. Happy job hunting, and I'll see you guys on the next video.